Genesis chapter 13 verses 1 through 4. Abram's removal to Canaan, BC 1918. Genesis chapter 13 verses 1 through 4. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. And he went on his journeys from the south, even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai, unto the place of the altar, which he had made there at the first. And there Abram called on the name of the Lord. 1. Here is Abram's return out of Egypt. Verse 1. He came himself, and brought all his with him back again to Canaan. Note, though there may be occasion to go sometimes into places of temptation, yet we must hasten out of them as soon as possible. See Ruth chapter 1 verse 6. 2. His wealth. He was very rich. Verse 2. He was very heavy. So the Hebrew word signifies, for riches are a burden, and those that will be rich do but load themselves with thick clay. Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 6. There is a burden of care in getting them, fear in keeping them, temptation in using them, guilt in abusing them, sorrow in losing them, and a burden of account at last to be given up concerning them. Great possessions do but make men heavy and unwieldy. Abram was not only rich in faith and good works and in the promises, but he was rich in cattle and in silver and gold. Note, 1. God in his providence sometimes makes good men rich men and teaches them how to abound as well as how to suffer want. 2. The riches of good men are the fruits of God's blessing. God has said to Abram, I will bless thee. And that blessing made him rich without sorrow. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 22. 3. True piety will very well consist with great prosperity. Though it is hard for a rich man to get to heaven, yet it is not impossible. Mark chapter 10 verses 23 through 24. Abram was very rich and yet very religious, nay, as piety is a friend to outward prosperity. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 8. So outward prosperity, if well managed, is an ornament to piety, and furnishes an opportunity of doing so much the more good. 3. His removal to Bethel. Genesis chapter 13 verses 3 through 4. Thither he went, not only because there he had formerly had his tent, and he was willing to go among his old acquaintance, but because there he had formerly had his altar. And though the altar was gone, probably he himself having taken it down when he left the place, lest it should be polluted by the idolatrous Canaanites, yet he came to the place of the altar, either to revive the remembrance of the sweet communion he had had with God in that place, or perhaps to pay the vows he had there made to God when he undertook his journey into Egypt. Long afterwards God sent Jacob to the same place on that errand. Genesis chapter 35 verse 1. Go up to Bethel, where thou vowedst the vow. We have need to be reminded, and should take all occasions to remind ourselves of our solemn vows. And perhaps the place where they were made may help to bring them afresh to mind, and it may therefore do us good to visit it. 4. His devotion there. His altar was gone, so that he could not offer sacrifice, but he called on the name of the Lord, as he had done. Genesis chapter 12 verse 8. Note, 1. All God's people are praying people. You may as soon find a living man without breath as a living Christian without prayer. 2. Those that would approve themselves upright with their God must be constant and persevering in the services of religion. Abram did not leave his religion behind him in Egypt, as many do in their travels. 3. When we cannot do what we would, we must make conscience of doing what we can in the acts of devotion. When we want an altar, let us not be wanting in prayer, but wherever we are, call on the name of the Lord.